Aaron's priesthood was imperfect, right? It could preserve, but it could not perfect. It could put off judgment, but it could not transform. It could protect from punishment, but it could not provide righteousness. It could make men right with God until they sinned again, but it could not free men from the grip of sin or the power of death. Aaron's priesthood could send someone behind the curtain for us, but Aaron's priesthood had no power to open the curtain so that the Spirit of God could come live in us. It created a place for God to live among the people, but it could not invite the people to live with God. But then there's Jesus. But then there's Jesus, who is not a priest by birth. He's not from the right tribe, so he's of an entirely different priesthood. So it's not just he's a new priest, this is a brand new priesthood. He's a priest by the power of his indestructible life. But his life, and this is what I want us to see, because that word indestructible sounds so great, but his life was only indestructible because of his dependence upon the Father. It was not divine power that made him indestructible. Hebrews says he became perfect by what he suffered. So Jesus was so cemented in dependence to the Father that he could face every temptation yet not sin. He could endure every discouragement, every disappointment, and every persecution. He could endure every unfair accusation and never waver. His life was indestructible because he had placed himself in the Father's hands. He was fully yielded, completely surrendered to the will and the heart and the love of the Father. Jesus didn't just happen to quote Scripture when Satan tempted him. The Word was in him because he was in the Word. When temptation came, Jesus' character just held true. Have you ever done something and immediately thought, that's out of character? What if it's not? What if, just like our words tell us what's in our heart, what if our actions tell us what our character really is? Because I think we want to believe the best about ourselves. That's, you know what, I don't know why I did that. That's not me. What if it's supposed to be a moment of self-examination? What if, rather than constantly defending ourselves, we actually just said, I don't know. I didn't think that was in me. I didn't think that was the kind of person I was. I didn't know. Why do we always have to explain it? Why do we always have to say, well, if this hadn't happened, well, if this wasn't going on, well, if I didn't do this, do you know what that is? It's pride, yet again. It's this place again of pride. It's being unwilling to acknowledge that my actions are not acceptable. I don't know why, but I'm willing to find out. Search me and know my heart. Test me and know my anxious thoughts. See if there's any wicked way in me, and lead me in the way of everlasting.